Hi everyone, it's Mark Pierce with Strategic Recruitment Blog, and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be discussing the basics of LinkedIn, a popular business networking site. Before I jump in, I'll give you a very quick overview of who I am. I've worked in the employment industry now for just over 16 years, currently based in Australia, previously worked in Manchester in the United Kingdom. So I've worked for 3 recruitment firms throughout my career. I've worked with a number of recognised names in the industry. It's probably wise not to mention those names on this video, but prior to coming to Australia, I worked with a number of leading telecommunications companies and oil and gas companies, and then more recently here in Australia, oil and gas businesses, mining businesses and power and utility businesses. And I often use LinkedIn. It's a fantastic networking tool. It helps me to connect with key decision makers, but you can use LinkedIn for a number of different things, which I'll start to run through with you now. So what we're going to cover today is we'll cover what LinkedIn is, and what it can do for you and how it can help you. If you're a job seeker and you're looking for work, there's a number of fantastic features on LinkedIn which will help you connect with key decision makers and key people that you should really have in your network. I'll run through what the basics are and what you need to know, and I'll give you like a live demonstration on LinkedIn. I'll choose a profile and I'll show you the very basics. I'll show you how to set up a profile from scratch. So what is LinkedIn? Well, it's a business-focused social networking site. So you've got the likes of Facebook and Twitter, which I use as well. But LinkedIn is slightly different. It's more of a corporate, more of a commercial, a professional networking site for like-minded professionals. It was established back in 2003, and it's grown since then now to just over 430 million users, and that's worldwide. Those 430 million users are currently using LinkedIn over 200 countries. A quarter of those users are active presently, and what it means by active are people who use it on a weekly basis, or at least, according to LinkedIn statistics, at least once a month. It's currently the 3rd largest social media site as well. Those were figures collected recently, in fact just this month. Now Microsoft purchased LinkedIn for just over 26 billion this year, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see which direction LinkedIn now takes. But most importantly, it is a platform to share your credentials and professional experience on, and I will run through that with you shortly. So LinkedIn is a fantastic social networking tool where you can connect with like-minded professionals. So depending on what you want to use LinkedIn for, whether you are searching for a job, you might wish to connect with people in certain companies where you'd like to work, for example. For myself, within sales and marketing, I use LinkedIn to connect with potential key decision makers in companies that I'd like to do business with. It's also a great tool to obtain referrals. And what I mean by referrals are people that you aren't connected with, but people you'd like to connect with. Now, LinkedIn has what's known as second line and third line connections. A second line connection would be someone who is known to someone that you know, but someone that you've never met, but you'd like to meet or you'd like to speak with. And the simple way of reaching out to those people is by asking your connection or your contact to actually refer that person to you so you can connect with them. It's a great tool as well to review lots of different companies on there. You can also see jobs, who's employing and for what positions. You can also see the employees within those companies. But I think just as importantly as well, if you're going for a job interview and there's a person on, you can actually check out hiring managers so you can see what their backgrounds are, their experience previously, and you might have something in common. You can also see who is viewing your profile on LinkedIn. Now, this is a great tool. I average probably 5 people a day who look at my profile. Every now and then, there's someone on there that I'd like to connect with, and it's a great way of just sending them a quick message saying, I noticed you've been viewing my profile today. I'd be pleased if we could connect. LinkedIn has what's known as a group of a number of forums where there's a wider community of people that you can connect with. If you have a niche set of skills or a certain professional background, there'll be other people on there, and it's very likely that there will be a group or a community that you can join. I don't know how many groups there are, but there's certainly thousands upon thousands of groups on LinkedIn. But have a search on there, and I'll run through that with you shortly as well, on how you can search for communities. And it's a great place as well to share news articles or articles on your background. You might want to showcase some ideas or some thoughts that you have. But you can also as well write blogs on LinkedIn as well. And I'll take you through that. I write a lot of blogs on there, probably one or two a month, just helping people with certain bits of information and just giving my industry knowledge on one or two different things. You can also share documents, and I'll show you how to upload your CV on there as well. So let's just have a look at the basics. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to my LinkedIn profile. We'll use mine, and I'll give you an idea of how this works. This is the homepage for LinkedIn. So this is what you will see. If you don't already have a LinkedIn account set up, this is the page you'll see. It's very, very straightforward. What you would do is you would put your details in here, like this, email address here, and then set yourself a password and then join. What that does then, that sends you an email. And then from there, you'll have a link that you can click, and then you can start putting together your LinkedIn profile. But what I'll do now, I'm going to sign in. Okay. So this is what you'll see. This is your homepage basically inside LinkedIn. Similar to what you'll get, I guess, with Facebook and Twitter. So this is the first page that you'll see. So this is my profile. This is my timeline here, and these are the people that are sharing information, links, etc., blogs, all up and down this timeline here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to get into my profile. So all you do is you just click on a picture here or on your name. So again, for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to assume that you already have a LinkedIn account set up. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just run along here so you can see for yourself and how this platform works. So right at the top here, you've got a search bar, as you will with most social media websites. And in here, you have a function of searching amongst people, jobs, different companies, the groups I mentioned. I'll take you to the groups a little bit later on. Alumni, there may be people at schools, universities that you can reconnect with. Posts you can search for, so blogs, and then you have your own inbox as well, where you can actually private message people. So just generally, I'm not going to go through all the backgrounds and all the pictures. It's very, very straightforward to upload a photograph. All you do is it will give you an option once you're setting up your profile. And you see these here, these little pencils that pop up as well. You can actually edit your profile as often as you wish. So I'm going to start here. Obviously, your name you'd need to put in as well so people can identify you. Then normally here at this point, you'll have your job title. Now, what I choose to do is I choose to have my contact details on here as well so people can see this. This particular section here comes up alongside your name. So if someone searches for you, they get a very, very brief summary, pretty much this amount here. And then you can see my job title, the company I work at, and also as well contact details and also an email address. Moving down, you have the location where you're based, but also as well you have your sector background or your professional background. I'll just click on this just so you can see how this works. So this is what you'll get. You'll see exactly the same thing as when you set your profile up. You have postcode, the country you're in as well, location, and then your industry. There's a lot of industries on here. So you can see from here, you can either scroll up or scroll down. For myself, I've chosen the oil and gas industry, which is the main industry that I operate in. You would put your current employer. Now, if you don't have a current employer, what you can do in this area, excuse me, just drop down to my employers there. What you can do here is you can actually put unemployed, or you can put unemployed in here, or seeking opportunities. I'll probably advise you to be creative as well. So if you are entering the job market, or if you are in between jobs, it's probably wise to be creative. So don't just put looking for a job, actually put down what your profession is and exactly what you're looking for, just so prospective employers can find you. Previous companies will pick up, and I'll show you shortly down below, it will pick up your previous companies and add these in here. Again, people can find you from previous companies. And then any education you have, you can start populating this throughout. Contact information would go in here. Any blogs or Twitter accounts or WeChat, websites, etc., you can put in there also. I mentioned blogs. LinkedIn is a great platform for expressing yourself via blogs or posts, as they call them, published posts, as you can see here. Very, very straightforward. If you want to write a new post, you just click on the button here. You can view statistics as well of how many times that your posts have been read. And generally, as you start gathering a little bit of momentum with writing blogs, you start finding out people will start sharing them for you as well. Once they read it, if they like the article, they'll start sharing them. So I'll come down a bit further. As you can see here, a little bit of a summary about myself. I've decided to choose and to share rather little bits of information here, testimonials, why I work with the company, just a way to promote the company I'm working for here. But here you can actually upload your CV as well. Very, very straightforward to upload. All you would do is you see here where summary, alongside there you have a box. You click on that box. You can either share a link or you can upload a file. Once you upload your file, if you want to upload your CV, or if you want to demonstrate some work that you've done, this is where you would put it so people will read this first. And what you'll start to notice as well is that LinkedIn is very similar. It's similarly set out to a CV. So you'd have your summary first, work experience, etc. Some achievements you can put in there as well. And I'll just come back up here again just to finish off this particular part. In your summary, try and make it a compelling read for someone. I'll just click on this here so that it opens up. So again, you can actually edit it. But give people an idea of what you can do for them, or what information you can share, or what you can actually bring to an employer. I've just decided here to choose some tangibles on some realistic outcomes that we've been able to achieve for some of our clients. And then just some bullet points. Keep it concise, keep it brief, keep it to the point. You might recall I explained this when we went through the video on CVs. Keep it the same for LinkedIn as well. Moving down your profile, naturally you would put your experience in. As you can see here, very similar to the way a CV is set out as well. You've got the option of adding contact details again here, adding documents, some photographs, for example, of your work, any links to your website, any presentations or videos you've done as well. And then that's pretty much the format. I'm going to come to testimonials shortly. You'll see here there's some testimonials at the bottom of my current employer's details. As you come down, you'll see here the previous employers, courses, languages. You'll start getting the hang of this. I'm not going to go through everything today because we just don't have the time, but you can actually start updating your profile straight away and adding any languages or any courses that you've done. Now, there's a bit called skills and endorsements. If I'm being totally honest here, this is probably the part of LinkedIn that I don't like. The reason I don't like this is people can endorse you for a number of different things. Management, fine. Recruiting, fine. I've never planned a project in my life. I've planned things and I've worked in project teams, but project planning is a profession or a skill, but I've never actually planned previously before. Engineering, I'm not an engineer. Project management, I'm not a project manager, although I have managed one or two projects. Executive search is fine. Procurement, I can't say. I've probably procured a few things for the office, like stationery, but it's not really procurement. So you can see here it's a little bit misleading. It's a feature they have on there, but if I'm being honest, it's not something I think. It can be quite misleading. You can see here as well, apparently I know about subsea engineering. I couldn't tell you anything about subsea engineering. Education, you would have here, and you can put all your courses and one on in here as well. So you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose now just to go back up to the top and actually talk about the testimonials. Now, these started appearing down the bottom, but basically you can manage your testimonials, and you can actually display them, or you can actually choose to not display them. But recommendations are from people who have endorsed you. So these are, I would call, proper testimonials, proper endorsements, people you've worked with, people you've helped previously. The key with LinkedIn is to try and get as many of these as possible, because what they do is they strengthen your profile. They also help you move up the ranks when someone tries to search for you as well. So I'll switch back to the home page again. Now, I mentioned that you can see who has been viewing your profile. Straightforward way, just clicking on here, and then you can scroll down and see who has been looking at your profile. And a shortcut to connecting with people is you can click on connect with them rather, just by clicking on this button here. So I also mentioned as well that I would show you groups and also as well companies, and then I'll probably just tail this off by showing you a couple of blogs, or how to publish a blog, which is very straightforward. So this is your search function, as I said earlier here. If you want to search for a particular company, just go down to here, click on companies. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to have a look at Google, you'll find them here. So this brings you up Google's company page. Now this is quite an interesting page here for many reasons. So Google often share articles, and they encourage people to post on here as well. But I'll show you the key basics here. So what we'll probably cover in a future session, intermediate session, is how to connect with people through this way as well, and how to publish your articles and share articles with Google. But you can see here, so it gives you an idea of the size of the company. You can follow them if you wish to keep a check on what they're posting. So if you click on follow here, what happens is, as you saw earlier on your homepage, on your timeline, you'll start seeing articles. These articles here, published by Google, and they'll appear on your homepage. You can see how you're connected with people within Google, as you can see here. I'm just using Google as an example, by the way. I don't have any connections, but I mentioned earlier on there are second-degree connections, or second-line connections, and also third-line connections as well. If you click here, you can see every single employee who's on LinkedIn and who works for Google. And again here, it gives you an opportunity to connect with these people. What I would strongly advise though, rather than clicking on this button here, that just sends a generic "I'd like to link in with you," or "I'd like to connect on LinkedIn," whatever the default message is these days. I would encourage you to actually look at the individual's profile. I don't think Carlos will mind me looking at his profile, but basically, as you can see here, this is Carlos's profile. Gives you an idea of who he is, so you can check him out, have a read through his profile, see if you have any common interests. I can send him a free message if I wish. I won't go into that now, that's because he has a premium account and I have a premium account as well. But click on this here to connect. And this opens up a completely different page. And then in here, you've got the opportunity to personalize your message to someone. So that's companies. Let's just take a look at groups. So again, use this box here to personalize your search. I'm just going to choose one at random. I'll just put chemical engineers or chemical engineering. Okay. So there's 45 different results 45 different groups that you could join. And then normally, well, they used to be ranked by numbers or the number of members. But as you can see here, LinkedIn have stopped doing that for some reason. But this just gives you an idea. So chemistry jobs, chemical engineering jobs, if you're looking for a job, might be a great group to join. All you would do is you would click on here. And then this will give you an idea of what the group can offer you. I'll just skip back a page again. And there's numbers, so process engineering, process chemical engineering groups. I would probably advise you to go for the ones with the most members. So these ones may be fairly new groups, young groups, but go for the ones where there's 70,000 members, 53,000, 10,000, etc. So by joining those groups, what you're able to do, just click on this one again here. You can see the members, who the owners are. So I have 3 connections in this particular group. It's mentioned here that I'm pending. I'll probably need to withdraw that at some point. So I'll use this as an example. But when you get accepted into a group, I'll just cancel this. When you get accepted into a group, what you'll see, I mean, you've got here today's highlights, but you'll start seeing, for example, these are my groups now. This is my group homepage. So I am connected to, I have a number of active groups that I'm in. I'll just click on here. And what you'll see is that there's a lot of conversations that get started within these groups. And this is a great place to go into. So if you are looking for work, you can actually start showing your expertise, sharing information with like-minded professionals. Okay, so the final thing I'll show you, I'll show you where you can actually publish blogs or posts. And it's just very straightforward. Click where it says write an article. This function here really allows you to express your ideas, your thoughts, or your expertise on a matter. Very, very straightforward. I don't know if you've used other blogging platforms, for example, like Blogger and various others. But what you would do is you would write your headline and then you'd start writing your article here as well. What LinkedIn does for you, it gives you a function here to tag your article so people find or able to find your posts and your blogs a lot easier. You can add images here as well. And then once you finish that, you would either save it or you would publish it. And when you publish it, what happens then is it saves to your profile down here. So these are all my posts I've written. I won't go through all this now, but I think the more posts that you publish, the more credibility and the more expertise that you will show on the LinkedIn platform. So this has been a very, very basic overview, and hopefully you've seen 1 or 2 ideas here which will help you to start putting together your LinkedIn profile. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a line, and you can reach me either on the website or the W's markpearce.net, or if you want to send me an email, recruitmentblogoz@gmail.com. So if you have any questions on the video today, please do get in touch. Drop me a line, send me a message via the website, and I'll do my best to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.